Next item.
Item 2, to City Councilors, Matt Dominello, Senior Majority Leader, regarding election by City Council, standing committees and liaisons. Economic Development, Housing and Zoning, Brian Daniels, David Lowell, Stephen Iavana, Lenny Rich, Dan Brunet. Finance, Catherine Batista, Miguel Castro, Stephen Iavana, Lenny Rich, Walter Shammick. Human Services, Miguel Castro, Matthew Dominello, David Lowell, Bob Williams Jr., Dan Brunet. Public Works and Parks and Recreation, Catherine Batista, Brian Daniels, Lou Graham, Kevin Scarpati, Walter Shammick. Public Safety, Matthew Dominello, Lou Graham, David Lowell, Kevin Scarpati, Bob Williams Jr. Liaisons to the Board of Education, Catherine Batista. Meriden Housing Authority, Brian Daniels. Pension Board, David Lowell and Lenny Rich. Labor, Steve Iavana, Dan Brunet. Golf Commission, Brian Daniels and Bob Williams.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilor Burnett?
Yeah, this list here was created by mutual effort on behalf of the Democrat and Republican leadership group. There's been some debate on who is part of these groups, and it's now been pretty much resolved. The latest portion of it is the leadership of these specific committees, such as chairman and vice chairmanships, which generally are on these lists at this time. The only issue I have with this really at this point is the leadership roles. It's been pretty well documented where we stood on that, where the Democrat Party stood on that, and we were extremely close. I mean, very, very close on this. So I just want to make a point to give a little bit of history on this to the councilors that weren't present at the time. But a lot of effort went into this. It is close, but it may not be good enough in the eyes of some individuals here.
I will once again read off the charter in this same section, Chapter 3, under City Council Special Powers, how appointments by City Council are made. The mayor shall recommend any and all appointments to officers or positions within the appointing power of the City Council, except as to chairpersons of the standing committees to the City Council for approval. The City Council may, within its next regular meetings, after submission of a recommendation by the mayor, reject said recommendation by majority vote of the entire membership except as hereon otherwise specified, failure of which said recommendation shall be deemed confirmed. And it goes on. So the mayor shall recommend any and all appointments to officers or positions within the appointing power of the City Council, and then it exempts chairpersons of the standing committees. You might to understand from this second item that the council itself, without the mayor, is making these appointments to the standing committees.
That is correct, Mr. Mayor, in accordance with the legal opinion that's been obtained by the city. That is correct.
I have to remind the councilors that the legal opinion by the Corporation Council is only an opinion. I don't agree with it. And this is, again, I believe out of order, and you are overstepping your authority given to us through the charter. I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Motion to adjourn the meeting. First motion. Second. Adjourn.
You have to vote on a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Vote on motion to adjourn.
Nay.
What a surprise.
You have a motion and a second.
Can we have a count on the motion to adjourn?
We vote nay.
Nay? Okay. Bring it to a vote, huh?
Aye. Aye.
And the nays?
Now there's 8.
The slate
Select committees.
The only question I have, will there be any amendments towards the leadership role?
If I may address the chair, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
The chair to majority leader.
Matthew Dominell is the majority leader now. I'm deputy majority leader, but I appreciate the promotion. We are willing to have the leadership positions of the committees on the floor now, but by procedure, we can only do that by complete 12-0 unanimous vote. Otherwise, it has to be done by each committee. So Councilor Brunet and I have had conversations. It was my understanding that, if you want me to go by committees, that economic development, I would be chair, Daniel Brunet would be vice chair, finance, Steve Iovano would be chair, Councilor Shamik would be vice chair, human services, Miguel Castro would be chair, David Owl would be vice chair, public works and park and recreation, Catherine Batista would be chair, LaRue Graham would be vice chair, and public safety, Kevin Scarpati would be chair, and Matthew Dominello would be vice chair. If those are agreeable to all 12, I would be happy to, with the consent, put that on as part of the resolution. If not, we will have to do it committee by committee as they meet.
Sit down. Do all 12 need to be affirmed? Vote on the affirmative.
For purposes of what you're trying to do in putting the entire slate forward, not voting on them individually, then yes, all 12 would need to be in agreement. But if anyone is not in agreement with what appears to have been worked out by the deputy majority leader and minority leader, then each of the committees at their first meeting would then vote to name their chairs and vice chairs.
So I leave it to the minority leader to indicate whether or not he has complete consent. But my understanding is that the Democratic majority is willing to consent to those leadership appointments.
Through the chair to the Councilor Daniels. Is it fair to say that you're looking to give the minority representation, minority party, only one chair? Is that correct? Is that what you're suggesting?
The positions were stated, and I believe they were in agreement with the minority leader.
Well, they might have been in agreement with him, but it wasn't a consensus between us. I'm just asking a question for clarification. At this point in time, are you looking at one chair for the minority party out of 5? Is that correct?
There was the vice chair of economic development, the vice chair of finance, the chair of public safety, as well as obviously the deputy mayor position.
I didn't ask you that. I said, are you giving us one chair at this point in time? Just answer yes or no. It's very simple.
I am not leaving you anything. This is the agreement I understand was reached. If you don't have unanimous consent, that's fine. We'll just vote on the committee membership. It doesn't matter to me.
Can you give me a direct answer?
Can you give me a direct answer? Based on what you just said, what you just read, you have one chair that you are willing to put forth for the minority party, correct?
One more chair than you currently have because of the change in correct.
Thank you. I just want to be very, I just want to understand it clearly. Okay, so you're saying one chair.
One more chair than you currently have.
One chair.
That's correct.
and 2 vice chairs, is that correct?
Including vice chair and economic development that you also don't for.
I can respect that, but 2 vice chairs. I just want to be clear what we're talking about. And 2 vice chairs, is that correct?
Yes, is there agreement or not?
Thank you. I understand. I just want clarification. You talk about getting an opinion. You mentioned an opinion here that we got, is that correct? From a third party?
The city attended. You'd have to talk through the corporation council.
Okay. Through the chair to the corporation council. We did get a third party opinion here, correct?
Yes, I had previously given my own opinion regarding the
Majority Leader.
What was the question? Repeat it, please.
The minority holds 5 council seats here, and the majority holds 7.
He's asking which council.
Yeah, there's 3 Republicans and 2 we keep it.
Councilor Daniels, I have a question for you, please. Question is to Councilor Daniels. You have 7 councilors that are Democrats, is that correct?
I believe that's correct.
Very good.
I don't think anyone over there has changed registration to be a Democrat yet.
Very good. When you have 7 out of 12, would you consider that as a fair percentage?
I consider that a majority.
You consider that the majority. So what you're telling me is 7 out of 12 broken down basically on a percentage basis, which would be 2 chairs to the minority and 3 to the majority, in your estimation means 1 chair to the minority and 4 chairs to the majority. Is that correct?
Legislative body, and as I've said, this agreement, I believe that the minority leader has.
The question wasn't a legislative question. The question was a fair percentage.
We are a legislative body.
That's correct. You're correct on that. But I asked you a different question. I asked you a fair percentage.
Yes, it is fair.
It is fair in your
We are a
mind.
legislative body.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I please ask you respectfully that the audience be quiet. This is a business meeting of the legislative body of the City of Meriden and the mayor. And we do not need comments, Your Honor. Please, you do have the responsibility as mayor to control the meeting, and that includes the audience. I appreciate that.
Please, audience, keep it down.
Yeah, if I could just add, each and every election cycle, politicians come up to you, whether it's for national elections, local elections, state elections, whatever it be, and you all hear it time and time again. It's been on billboards time and time again. Don't vote just for the party, vote for the person. You all hear it. We all say it. We've all said it, and that's what we're doing here tonight. We've had people say tonight in this room, vote for what is right. We need to do what's going to be best for the city of Meriden. That's what we're here for. I'm not here to play political gamesmanship. I'm not here to favor one side or another. I'm here to move the city forward. That was what I took an oath of office to do 2 years ago. That's what I will continue to do for the next 2 years in office. I won't cater to a party. I won't cater to a certain individual. I will do what's best for the entire city of Meriden. As a councilman at large, I am doing my job for all of you. That's to put people in the right places and to move forward. And I think that's what we can do tonight.
Mr. Mayor, I understand that we have agreement on the leadership positions. You can confirm that with the minority leader, please.
On the leadership, it doesn't look like we have a consensus.
It's not what the minority leader just indicated. It was under the question we had.
So it goes to a vote without the leadership.
There's not a consensus.
Is there a consensus? Okay.
Is there a consensus?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Then as stated with those additional leadership positions, if you could call the vote, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, let's vote on that. Call.
Aye.
Aye.
It has to be unanimous, Mr. Mayor, otherwise it doesn't. 12-0. Thank you, Councilman Bonet, for your efforts. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion to adjourn?
Made and seconded. Please vote aye.
All in favor?
Aye.